What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE's removal of Kari Sane, more evidence against Matt Riddle in the Speak Out allegations, AJ hints at his retirement, other 4 Horsemen coming to AEW, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. But now let's hit the intro and get straight into the news. Our first story looks at WWE's removal of Kairi Sane. Now, it's been reported that Kairi Sane is set to leave the WWE and go back to Japan to be with her husband. As we mentioned in our previous news video, plans were in place for Sane to be kayfabe injured and possibly retired by either Shayna Baszler or Charlotte Flair, which would then set up a match for SummerSlam against Asuka for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. However, those plans were nixed when she was legitimately injured at the hands of Nia Jax on Raw, and we haven't seen Sane ever since. However, now WWE is in the process of removing Sane from advertising, as WWE's Twitter account posted 2 different match graphics within 24 hours, removing the old one with Sane. Whether WWE will stick to their original plans and actually film this kayfabe injuring remains to be seen, but this removal could indicate that her match against Jax was a final moment in the company. Hopefully it's not, as Sane deserves a good send-off. To be honest, WWE just really dropped the ball on her anyway. This is the least that they could do. Next up, more evidence against Matt Riddle and the Speak Out allegations. Now, there's an interesting development in the accusation of misconduct made against WWE superstar Matt Riddle by independent wrestler Candy Cartwright. Riddle's attorney has stated that Cartwright has been stalking Riddle and his family for the past 2 years, but in response, Cartwright tweeted a picture of her and Riddle locking lips and claims that this was taken in 2019. She posted it with the caption, "This is crazy. It's been 2 weeks and I'm still getting hate messages, threats, and seeing stuff like this. If I've been stalking for years, then why is this from 2019? And this was also taken after I went to see him on an NXT loop and he got me 2 tickets to 2 shows. If this photo is verified as legitimate and taken in 2019, it could seriously damage Riddle's defense that he'd long split from Cartwright and that she'd been stalking him." And yesterday we posted a news video on Triple H sending a warning out to those who have been accused. Since WWE hasn't taken any action against Matt Riddle so far, unless there's something that really proves these allegations, we don't think WWE is going to do anything with Riddle at this point. But what do you guys think of the evidence? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, is AJ hinting at retirement? Is the phenomenal AJ Styles getting ready to hang up his boots? Listen to what the current Intercontinental Champion had to say after polishing off challenger Drew Gulak on SmackDown. "I plan on having it, I don't know, until I retire maybe. I don't know, maybe I could." Styles just re-upped with the WWE and he said he plans on retiring as a WWE superstar. While there's no telling how long AJ will retain the title, it's doubtful if he's going to retire with it in a few years, so look for someone to dethrone him unless the WWE wants to end the Honky Tonk Man's record reign of 454 days as the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Next up, Booker T's interesting take on Sasha Banks and Bayley. Booker T was in the wrestling game for a long time and, as always, looking to share his thoughts on wrestlers, promotions, or storylines. Recently, the 2-time WWE Hall of Famers spoke about the current SmackDown Women's Champion and one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions Bayley and her tag title partner Sasha Banks. Sasha is a major player. She is one talent on the roster that you can always be able to go to and then know that she's always going to deliver, especially in a big match. Bayley is the quintessential worker. She can go out there and she may not be great at anything, but she's good at everything. So when I watch Bayley go out and perform now, taking on this new persona, which is something that I couldn't wait to see happen, I think it's good for her, as well as we're in this era again, this pandemic era. Everything right now is kind of like on hold in like a holding pattern, and for those two to be in a position in a holding pattern is perfect. Now, Sasha Banks didn't exactly like these comments that Booker T made, and snapped back saying, "We're better than Harlem Heat." Now, can you dig that, sucker? Are they better than Harlem Heat? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a rising star coming to AEW Dark on 7th July. AEW has announced that second-generation grappler Brian Pillman Jr. will wrestle Shawn Spears on the 7th July episode of AEW Dark. Pillman works for Major League Wrestling, but according to Ringside News, a contract loophole allows him to work for AEW. That's fantastic, and we can't wait to see Brian Pillman Jr. work on AEW Dark this week. Next up, Sarah Logan has a big announcement. A former Riot Squad member, Sarah Logan, is done with the WWE, but that doesn't mean she's planning on retiring to the woods and living off the land. Logan has said she's retired from wrestling, but posted this message on her Instagram account today. Everyone has been asking what's happening next in my life, and I'm here to tell y'all I have a huge announcement tomorrow. I'll let you know when the Wild and Free TV episode drops. Logan has teased working in MMA during past interviews, so it wouldn't surprise us to see her jump from the squared circle into the octagon. Next up, details on Extreme Rules Swamp Fight match. Now, the swamp fight between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman at Extreme Rules of a Horror Show looks to be the center of the pay-per-view. But what should we expect from this match? While it's clear it's going to be a cinematic match, what exactly will happen? Wrestling Inc. had some details, and they mentioned WWE stunt coordinator Ellis Edwards is involved with the match. Edwards has been doing stunt work in pro wrestling dating back to WCW in the 1990s. Ellis is said to be involved with several stunts for the shoot. I was told that not every stunt will be big, but he is there for safety and to explain how everything should happen in a safe manner. Ellis worked with Strowman on the ring collapse with Braun Strowman in 2017, as well as the angle of Strowman turning over the ambulance with Roman Reigns. It's also been reported that Triple H is heavily involved with producing this match, much like he was with the Boneyard match, and we all know how damn good that was. Now, the Braun Strowman vs Bray Wyatt match could be an interesting point in their feud, which seemingly will lead to a final encounter between Strowman and The Fiend, possibly at SummerSlam. What could we expect from it? In my opinion, this isn't going to be the time where Braun Strowman drops the belt to Bray Wyatt. We believe that's going to happen for SummerSlam. But this should no doubt be an interesting match. But let's hope it doesn't go the way of the House of Horrors match at Payback. That was pretty bad. Next up are the 4 Horsemen coming to AEW. One of the hottest rumors going around right now is that AEW may form its own version of the legendary faction, the 4 Horsemen. Ringside News' Felix Upton had an interesting take on some recent social media chatter between AEW stars. Sean Spears' manager is Tully Blanchard, who is famous for his time as a horseman. Spears tweeted out a simple Roman numeral on the number 4 on the night of Fyter Fest. This caused a lot of fans to wonder what was going on. Perhaps a 4 Horsemen was being teased. And just to add to the possibilities, Upton pointed out Dax Harwood and Cody Rhodes happened to share a birthday. When Rhodes sent out a message on both of their birthdays, he went with a tweet saying, "Happy birthday, digging your truck, looks like it has a lot of horsepower." Right now, the popular lineup for an AEW Horseman faction is Cody, FTR, and Sean Spears. Add in the fact that Cody really believes that the FTR is one of the greatest tag teams that they have, and the likelihood of them forming the Horsemen is very high. While it's unknown if AEW could use the Horseman name, as podcaster Conrad Thompson filed to trademark 4 Horsemen back in 2019, if AEW was to form a Horseman-like faction, which wrestlers would you like to see in it? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE's taping schedule. Well, if you're wondering when WWE is taping its weekly television and when NXT TakeOver and SummerSlam will air, well, wonder no more as Post Wrestling revealed a taping schedule in an exclusive story. According to Post Wrestling's John Pollock, following today's tapings of Raw at the Performance Center, the company will continue to tape brand-specific shows on individual dates, with a few exceptions. Obviously, the pay-per-views will necessitate performers from different brands on the same show, but there will also be a taping date on Monday, August 17th for the go-home episodes of Raw and SmackDown that week going into SummerSlam. While there have been discussions of the WWE postponing SummerSlam until it could run shows in a venue with fans present, that option appears to be off. As of now, the current schedule has NXT TakeOver set for Saturday, August 22nd and SummerSlam for August 23rd, which were the original dates for the show. When we inquired about the location of SummerSlam, it was said to be decided, with the likely scenario of it being at the Performance Center, but we have not been able to confirm that. There was a hope to have SummerSlam in front of a limited number of fans at a different venue, but that might not be possible. What do you guys think? Should SummerSlam be postponed until it can have fans in a venue? After all, that's where we'll probably see a massive title change. Now, WWE doesn't always need fans to do a title change, but it adds to the atmosphere and overall moment. And finally, The Big Show reveals that it was Brock Lesnar who saved his career. Now, although The Big Show's entry into the WWE Hall of Fame is a given, some fans forgot the big man's struggles during his earlier years in the WWF. At one point, the WWF sent The Big Show to its developmental territory, Ohio Valley Wrestling, to lose weight and get into shape. During time there, he began working with an OVW trainee, a wrestler who would become one of the WWE's biggest stars of the 21st century, Brock Lesnar. Speaking with TalkSport's Alex McCarthy, The Big Show revealed how he got to wrestle the next big thing when Brock's opponent was unable to wrestle. And Brock and I, because we trusted each other, we actually just went out there and tore the house down and had fun. And that was one of the first agent reports that went from the live events and went back to Vince. Vince said to me, "So you work pretty well with Brock?" I said yeah. And then it went along and they asked Brock who did he want to work with, and he said me. He said he's a giant who can work. So that kind of endorsement, they were forced to take another look at me and I was able to make the best of that opportunity. The Big Show eventually returned to the main roster and never looked back. But there you have it guys, the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.